You can tell from the few videos that I've posted over the last couple of years, we are a Passat TDI family. My wife had one first, loved it. We bought one for our daughter. She loves it. And we've had the same problems that everybody has with them. Turbos go bad at about 180, 190,000 miles. They're incredibly expensive to have fixed, about $6,000 to replace a turbo. Intercoolers get gummed up with goop. EGR systems get gummed up with goop. And all of those things have happened, both with this one, which is my wife's, and our daughter's, which we fixed over the years. So when we had a chance of a 2012, slightly older, TDI, SLC, SLE, I mean, for $1,900 that looked perfect and was a fantastic car. Surprise, surprise, all kinds of codes, all kinds of complaints from the EGR system, the turbo, the intercooler. We decided to buy it at $1,900 and see if we could fix it. So that's what this video is all about. So this is a 2012 Passat TDI with all kinds of turbo warnings and errors. And this is not a trivial job to be taken lightly. But it's all out now, eventually. This is day 2. Probably 6 hours of 2 people. And the problem is you have to take the sort of call it a subframe. It's not really a subframe, but you've got to take the front subframe out. Steering rack, roll bar, suspension components, DPF filter, exhaust components, of course, EGR stuff to get to the turbo. And when we pulled the turbo apart, there's really nothing wrong with it. That does not mean the old turbo is going back in. The old turbo is for sure getting junked. And we are putting the new turbo in. So hopefully when we reassemble, we'll find something. But we've not found anything wrong so far. Nothing. Driving us a little nuts. Low boost, turbo control errors, EGR slow response errors, all kinds of codes telling us for damn sure it's the turbo. Engine goes into limp mode. There's no power, there's no boost. Right, but we've not found a single thing wrong with it yet. But it is early days. So this is an interesting vantage point. Exhaust manifold, of course, goes in those studs so you can see in the turbos at the back here. The problem is that all this other stuff is at the back here. Right? Absolutely everything that you can imagine is in the way. There is no other way to get the turbo out. You cannot get the EGR stuff off and bring the turbo out of the top. And I really am hoping we find something simple when this goes back together. But we will put it back together slowly and rebuild and show the video. We did not disassemble on video, which was maybe a mistake in hindsight. But we will rebuild this and show it piece by piece. Of course, the last thing that came off was the turbo. It'll be the first thing that goes back on. Look at that thing. That is a thing of beauty. Brand new turbo sitting on there. So in reverse order, first thing that goes on is the turbo. Next is the EGR valve and various contraptions that are all plugged up and filthy, so we're cleaning them out before we put them back on. So EGR system is in on the back of the engine with the plumbing associated with it. Next is DPF filter with its plumbing. Too many curse words used, hence the gaps in the videoing. But I think you get the point. Last thing is the turbo and its pipes. Penultimate thing is the EGR system and its pipes. Tri-ultimate thing is the particulate filter and its pipes. And that is going in just a second. Okay, DPF filter is in. Its pipes are connected. It's bolted in shape. Just got to do some sensors in the top. The sensor at the bottom is in, and a couple of pipes up top, and then that is feeling really good. All right, what did I say when we started the video? We were hoping to find something simple. Unfortunately, we found the simple thing at the end on day 3. So this is boost pipe, comes from the intercooler to the intake.
That's the turbo to the intercooler.
Oh, this is turbo to intercooler. Great big split right down that pipe. Like a 2-inch split, because the pipe is the wrong type of pipe. But anyway, nice to find something. But now it's for cross brace, take the intercooler out, clean it, put the cross brace in, steering rack, etc. So day 3 begins. So the cross member is now in, drive shaft is on. So drive shaft first to keep it out of the way. Steering rack and sway bar, of course, are on top of the this cross member / front subframe thing. Lower ball joints are bolted up. Drive shaft, of course, is bolted in. The exhaust needs to go on next from underneath. I've switched my attention to taking the intercooler out at the front, just so that we can clean that up, because it's always in bad shape. No point in doing all this work and not cleaning the intercooler. So I've shown how to do this on a prior video, so there's no need for me to spend a lot of time on it. This is actually very clean compared to others. I'm actually really surprised. Still covered in green snot, still full of oil. Don't know why, but when I wash that through, you'll see what it looks like in just a second. These intercoolers cost a fortune to have the dealer replace, yet they take 30 seconds to clean. They take a lot longer than that to get out, but they take 30 seconds to clean. So a few minutes later, maybe 10 minutes, flushed it through with diesel. I did gasoline the first time I did this, and it left vapors in the intake system, which the engine didn't like when it first fired up. But diesel, of course, is safe. So washed it through with diesel. It is shiny clean. I'm letting it drain, get all the diesel out. It's important to take the temperature sensor out before you do that, because these temperature sensors don't like cleaning fluid. I found that out the first time I did this too. But it's super clean. Red diesel was going in one end and red diesel was coming out of the other. So now I got to get this back in and get back on to buttoning the car up. Look at that, not a single code. No check engine lights. Purrs like a kitten. Wow. Very glad we've done it. Well, it is Sunday at about 3 o'clock. That has taken now in total, I would say, 14 hours of 2 people. It's all back together, everything's perfect. No check engine lights. Purrs like a kitten, flies. So, absolutely great job. And we are done.
Oh, that thing.